In this section, we're going to be creating the HTML skeleton of our game. That is, the heading, the squares, where the game is played, pretty much every section you saw in the introduction section. So let's first create a simple index.html file. So I clicked right click and then new file, index.html, enter. So we have a new file here. I'm actually using brackets.io as my editor to create my web app or game, whatever you want to call it. But there are other options as well. For example, there is Sublime Text, and then there is Notepad XX, plus, and there's Notepad, obviously. And you can probably get a lot of options if you just do a simple Google search as well. So these are all free options. The Notepad is only possible for Windows users, so if you're not a Windows user, you might have to go for the other options. Both brackets.io and Sublime Text have both Windows and Mac options to download, so you can choose any of them. I absolutely love Brackets because it's very easy to use and it has a ton of functions, like for example, they have a live preview option right here, and then every code I write, it has a different color, so I know whether I'm doing the right thing or not, and then it auto completes the tags and so on and so forth. So you'll see all the wonderful features of Brackets as I start typing the code. Right now, this particular file was created under the folder tic-tac-toe.js. So I first created a folder in one of my folders. I created it with the name tic-tac-toe.js, and then I went here, I opened up Brackets and then went here and said open folder. And then I came here and then said tic-tac-toe.js and then select folder. Okay, and then I right clicked and then clicked on new file, and then there's index.html. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now let's start creating our HTML file. So first of all, we're going to create the skeleton as I told you. So let's first declare the doc type. To do that, you have to type the exclamatory point and then doc type in caps, and then declare it as HTML in small letters. This lets the browser know that this is a HTML5 document. That is a HTML5 document, okay? Because there were other versions before that. There was HTML4, HTML, HTML1, 2. There were multiple versions. So right now we're using the HTML5 version, which is the latest one. So we need to let the browser know that we're using the latest version to create our code. So it reacts accordingly. Then let's declare the HTML tags, which will hold all the HTML elements of our page. So that's HTML. There you go. Tags are basically words written between the less than and the greater than sign, like here. Okay? And the HTML tag also has a start tag, this one, and an end tag, this one, if you can see, where the only difference is this slash right before the word. There are other tags which don't have these start and end tags. For example, this doc type HTML tag. These are called empty tags. We'll see more of those as we start coding. So before I proceed, I want to let you know that I might explain some very basic concepts because this is a beginner's course and I want to explain every line of the code, so someone who has no knowledge of HTML or CSS or JavaScript can easily follow and understand and create their own game. So if you already know these concepts, please feel free to skip ahead and you can just start creating the game along with me, or you can also watch everything and learn all the basics all over again. It's a very good revision for you. Okay, so let's write the body and the head tags. First of all, the head tag, which is also a tag with start and end tags, and as you can see, there is an indent right here. Brackets automatically lets you creates the indent for you, but you can also use the tab button in your keyboard and create an indent like this. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, so why? Because it just lets the user, it just lets the programmer know what's what. So HTML file holds the HTML tags hold the head tag. So this is a child tag. So by creating the indent, you let yourself or someone else who peruses your code know that this is how you've done everything. So it's easier to read the code if you actually indent everything properly. So please follow that. Okay, now we've written the head, and then finally let's go for the body tag, which is also a tag with start and end tags. The body tag will have all the visible parts of HTML page, like the header, the game area, etc. Everything you saw in the introduction. The head tag, on the other hand, will have all the invisible parts that are needed for the browser but won't be seen by the visitor of the page. Okay? For example, the head tag can hold the title of the page, which you can write as title. There you go. This is not usually seen by the visitor, at least not immediately, but this particular title will be read by the browser, the search engines, etc. to know exactly what the web page is going to be about. So for now, since our web page is going to be about a tic-tac-toe game, let's just say tic-tac-toe. So that's going to be my title. So let me show you where it will be displayed on our app. I'll be using the live preview option of brackets. If not, you could also go here to your folder and then double click on the index.html file so it opens up on your browser. That will work as well, but I prefer the live preview option while coding because it immediately changes the output as and when I change the code. So that's preferable for me. If you were going with this option, the flicking on the index file inside the folder, you might have to refresh the page every time you make a change in your code. So remember that. So let me go to File, Live Preview. There you go. There's nothing else here because we haven't started actually typing anything in the body section. So as I told you, whatever you type in the body will be seen in the visible part of the file, which is this one. And in the tab, you have the title you typed, tic-tac-toe. So that's it. In the next lecture, let's take a look at the meta tags of the head section. See you there.